welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship here, as we are now going to get into a next series of this qualifier, and it's going to be Liquid Bunny going up against Liquid Hero. And where is this in the bracket, actually, Sean?
Round of 8.
Round of 8. So they are one series away from...
Round of 16.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
They are 2 rounds away from their semi-final position where they get basically a double elimination bracket. So let's jump into game number 1. It's going to be on Overgrowth. Up to the top right-hand corner, of course, it is Hero as our Protoss. Another bottom left-hand corner, it is Bunny, our Terran.
Yeah, so what would a tournament be without a Team Liquid kill?
Team kill.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
And we got one.
Oop, wrong one. All right. I'm observing, guys. It's not Funker. We're not Funker levels here, but we'll do what we can.
So we got Hero, who's playing from Korea, and Bunny playing from Europe on the European server. Clear advantage going to Bunny. But so far, Hero's done pretty well to get where he is now. Considering he's got latency issues.
Yes.
He hasn't been able to beat any super notable players yet. This is his first big notable game in the round of 16. He's beaten Katana, DMC, and Cool T. So not the biggest of names. Whereas Bunny, on the other side of things, really also hasn't had that many big games. The last one we saw was his games versus Cats.
All right. So this is the big challenge.
This is the test.
Okay. Well, makes sense that they get to a challenging series and then it's their teammates. That's normal here. As this probe's going to go in and have a look around, get all the information it needs, see if the gas has been taken, see that it is indeed a Reaper opening here from Bunny.
And a massive shout out to everyone who's watching Champions League at the same time right now.
Massive shout out to those guys and girls. I have no clue about football, so it's not me. Not me, sorry, mate.
It's okay, Manchester City doing really well.
Are they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you got a Reaper opening here coming out from Bunny, and the more popular style, as of recent, is to go for the factory. It is better. A lot of European Terrans and Korean Terrans tend to agree. Bunny is very capable of using both, the barracks follow-up and the factory follow-up, but this has now pretty much become the standard follow-up, which is the factory follow-up. You are able to not allow the Protoss to chill out. And there's a really nice blocking here by the ZvP. But you basically put pressure on the Protoss all the time. And if you get lucky or he makes a mistake, you destroy Mineral Line and you almost just win the game there and then. So it is the preferred follow-up for a lot of Terrans as of Reaper.
Reaper did all right as well. And as you said, the good block there by the SCV. Reaper gets in, gets the probe, scares the Zealot a little bit, but from there on out, it's okay. Hero's going to stabilize. And they're probably even just still poking around at the back here and spotting the extra follow-ups, of course, with the factory going down after that initial gas.
Yeah, it's always nice just to know what you're playing against, even though he probably knew this would be the case.
Yeah.
But now he's just got to plan the perfect defense. Not take losses versus these Widowmine drops, which are incoming, get the observers out, or does he want to play with observers in the first place? Does he want to try and go for a forge? Cannons is one way to deal with it. Yeah, the robotics facility is the easier one. Just to get the observers out. How many observers does he get? Does he want like up to 4? Does he want, you know, ones hanging around the mineral lines, one scouting, maybe one on the outskirts of his base? All things to think about now.
Well, Reaper's going to have a little bit of a nosy round again as the Mothership Core moves into position to try and intercept, or at least deny. But Stalker's already here as well, so good positioning there by Hero, making sure that even if it jumped up, it would take a lot of damage from that Mothership Core.
If Hero takes no damage whatsoever, it is bad. It's not very good. I mean, not very good for Bunny, that is, yeah.
Well, he's luring that Stalker way out of position here. And some scratching, not too much.
All right, this is interesting. Widowmine on the ground.
Getting pretty eager. I think this is maybe a distraction just to get the Reaper in more so than not. It's got in, but he's losing a lot of the Marines at the front. If you macro these Stalkers well, they could just not die. Ah! Well, that was a 6th round on that last Marine. And now that Widowmine snuck around. Ooh. Okay. Sacrifice yourself.
Yeah.
for the greater good.
There is another Widowmine, though, headed towards the main base. So far, 4 probes have gone down.
That's all right. Yep, here is our medevac, and we're going to follow on through. Who's actually...
doubling around to the natural.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He almost got spotted. Oh, he did get spotted.
Yeah.
That
So
was-
Hero should be in position to stop this.
Yeah. Nicely done. Nicely done. Adding on his Twilight Council as well. Boost on forwards, has to boost on back.
Yeah. Get that blink upgrade up nice and early. Very, very useful.
Did medevac spot it? No, it didn't actually. May go loop around and try and spot it in a minute.
Yeah, there's a second medevac on its way out too.
These 4 extra Marines in both of these medevacs to assist said Widowmine in positioning.
But Hero's defense pretty solid so far.
Goes in, drops, and actually does buy time for it to burrow. And causes a little bit of friendly fire damage, that poor Marine.
Still not a lot of damage done. But there is a third command center behind this. But Bunny definitely would have liked to have got more. Maybe this one does it.
Yeah, there's an observer here, so Photon Overcharge should be able to focus that Widowmine down. He's not reacting though. Oh, and he still only gets 1 kill with it.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, that could have been a lot better. But
9 kills overall, still pretty decent, but you obviously want more than that, really.
yeah, it's 43 workers to 45. Arguably, those Widowmines could have done a little bit more, especially that second one, but oh well, we'll look on the bright side here for Bunny, who is well set up at home. You know, he's got good infrastructure down. This is all being spied on by Hero at the moment, of course.
Decent Stalker count for Hero. I wonder what is he going to do next with his setup here. He's got a good economy and 2 bases. Does he want to try and take a third behind these Blink Stalkers? Does he want to try double forge behind these Blink Stalkers? Does he feel that he needs to go up to more than just 3 gateways? Double forge. Okay, cool.
And he's positioning himself in a very, very defensive manner, just in case that those medevacs were to come along again. But Bunny has given up all kinds of ideas of those drops for now. He went all the way home.
He's just going to play the mid game now. He's done decent enough damage with the drops, not like super huge, but decent. And now he's on building up towards 5 barracks, got 3rd command center. Just kind of slowing down and stabilizing this mid game. But I think that Hero's going to be, well, not going to be, but Bunny needs to try to find himself a good advantage in this game by dealing a damage from a good drop. But there's Blink on the way to help that from happening.
Yeah, and Liquid Hero is spreading himself out to be able to see any kind of drop that would come along. The Zealot on the right-hand side maybe to spot. This Probe on the left with even Pylons to spot as well. If a medevac would come along.
And if he doesn't find damage through drops here, Bunny, he's trying to go for a second starport to try to take a good fight on the Protoss 3rd base, where the Vikings can be in between on this little cliff area, dealing a lot of damage to any Colossus that's trying to defend this location.
Yeah, it's tough, that little engagement spot. Even if you've got Blink, it can still be tough, because it is so restrictive there for the Protoss to really start moving around.
And Bunny's like, huh, that's kind of weird that you're kind of slow with this base. Kind of pulls back a little bit.
Hero will see this 3rd base down at the bottom left, and 1 Marine will die off to a Stalker for its troubles.
Yeah. Hero scans again, checking where this, Bunny scans again, wants to know where this army is, because it is a little bit weird that there's no 3rd base down, so he's maybe thinking if he could get attacked anytime soon. Remember, he does not know about the double forge. But the Viking count is very high already. There is a clear chance to take a fight. As soon as this 3rd Nexus is planted, there's a lot of bio on the ground, and there's about to be 10 Vikings already. Yeah,
against only 3 Colossi. The 4th one is in production, of course, yes, but if he actually went with these extra 4 about to pop, then good God, he could do some damage.
Yeah, everything is with Bunny together. Hero warped in Stalkers to defend his main base, because he's not sure if he's about to get dropped there or not.
Oh. Sees the sun moving out of the watchtower, though, and now we've got to see Hero be a bit cautious, even a little bit fearful. Drops are hallucinated Colossus. I wonder if that was spotted in the scan. I don't think it was. It was just out of range.
Hero, who's going to be in a bit of pressure, is going to move out to the middle here.
And he doesn't have that much anti-air at all, so... And actually gets a great flank with the Marauders on top of all the Colossi, and Hero is dead in the water. That was catastrophic.
Yeah.
Well, Vikings, all he needs is a little bit more bio reinforcement. Yes, he lost quite a bit of his bio to those Colossi there, but trading off just the bio alone for that many Colossi, the way he flanked it, tough stuff.
Yeah. And emergency Dark Shrine coming in. Hero's in trouble after losing that.
Yeah,
fight.
definitely.
I mean, look at the supply difference.
There's no way he's going to hold the third. No way.
Yeah, and you may not even be able to hold his natural.
Yeah. Well, that third is going to fall. Drops the scan, sees the Mothership Core in positioning. That dice instantly to the Vikings. Oh, dear. And that's a free third there, my friend. A free third.
Bunny's just going to smash this one into the natural, and he's going to probably be able to pick up the win. Viking count nice and high. A lot of bio on the ground. Hero could have been at like 5 Colossus by now, but he's only at 2.
Yeah. Vikings can walk forward, kill these 2 Colossi, then land to aid the ground force if they really need to. As there's a lot of Zealots, but they're getting destroyed as well. The Vikings are going to land. Here's Guardian Shield for good measure to try and soak up some of this damage, but there's too much. Liquid Bunny absolutely runs away with this game.
Yeah. Easy win for Bunny. Even with Hero harassing the third base from the pylons, that would have been cool if he hadn't lost all those Colossus in the middle there.
Yeah.
And I was surprised he was out so far in the open, to be honest.
Opportunistic move from Bunny, killing off even the extra Colossi with that Marauder flank, but really, really well done. Seizing the moment, realizing that there's not many force fields to impede any kind of movement down that left-hand side, and gets himself another Colossus.
Yeah. Game 1, gonna go to Liquid Bunny over Liquid Hero.
Very well done. Very well done. So, a really good start there for him in this best of 3.
Yeah.
Looked, I mean, he had all the answers. The double starport when he needed it, able to get those number of Vikings out, but I mean, even if he didn't have that number of Vikings out, the Colossi would have technically still died in that engagement anyway, but maybe he wouldn't have felt as comfortable to move out.
Right.
So it was good stuff there by Bunny.
Just looking at the bracket, Fantasy's playing against Mana currently. Snoop managed to beat True.
Okay, wow. Okay, that keeps happening.
Yeah, this keeps happening. I can have a look. Cure's playing against Night End. Night End beat MMA.
Wow. Okay.
And that's about it, really. Hydra beat Wellmu, and Verdi beat Polt.
Verdi beat Polt?
Verdi beat Polt.
Jeez, this
Verdi
bracket
now has beaten Nurcho, Tilo, and Polt. Now going up against Hydra.
Verdi, man. He does really well online. Like, really, really well. I've cast him in a few Go for Monthly finals, and every single time he ends up in the final against Korean powerhouses, and then, unfortunately, has a bit of a hard time, but still. You know, he's able to make it work online really, really well.
He's playing very well, and we'll see how far he can get, because remember, despite all these good players still being around, there's only 3 spots available left. And you've got your Cure, your Bunnies, your Snoots, Fantasy, Mana, so there's a lot of good players left fighting for not many slots. All right,
well, we're loading up onto game number 2 now. It's going to be Catalina in this second game, as Bunny staring down a 2-0 victory maybe here. It's a good map for him to do that on, I think.
Perfect map. It is the perfect map to 2-0 Hero on.
Yeah. Hero could have a bit of a tough time. I mean, even if he had a tough time on Overgrowth, we'll see if he's able to kind of pull it back and wrangle it back here on a less favored map for him. Let's jump into things. As we have Catalina up to the top. It is our red Terran. It is, of course, Bunny. And down to the south, it's our blue Protoss. It is Liquid Hero.
Liquid Hero.
What's his options here? He's already spawned in a bit of a dire position up against a Terran. It's not really going to work out for the airspace behind him.
Yeah. The thing is Hero is going to have a hard time no matter what. This is a very difficult map for Protoss to be on, because the natural is in the natural area, of course, and then the third base location is usually going to be towards the left-hand side here. But you're moving further and further away from Doom drops that are going to happen in your base, and that's going to be the biggest concern here. So maybe to be able to deal with that concern is you do see Protoss players play Phoenix on this map to try to control the air to prevent those drops. You see a lot of all-ins happening. I'm not sure which way Hero's going to take it. If this was offline or maybe on the same server that Hero is from, he could attempt regular play. But I think it's going to be very difficult considering the latency.
So do you see something from Hero being a bit more aggressive here? Especially after game number 1 and how it went, and then factoring in the latency?
I really don't know.
Okay. Well, he could do. It's certainly an option. And it has to be quite a strong option, considering...
yeah, he needs to be very decisive.
Yeah. Well, now just heading on his gas. Going to start making some kind of form of a wall on this left-hand side, just in case a Reaper were to have jumped in and been the choice here for Bunny, which it is likely he can do that, especially on this map.
Yes, perfect opening from Bunny. So Hero's already taken double gases, even though it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play one base. But it really does open up his options compared to just being a single gas that you'd usually see from Protoss.
For now, he's just in one of these gases with one, and it's going to be one in the other. Not even... Ah, there we go. He is rallying into them now, so needs to get that going a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it's not so much about what he can do before the Nexus, it's about what he can do afterwards with the lot of gas. Which, again, doesn't necessarily need to be aggressive, but it's something to keep at the back of the mind that this is a difficult map for Hero to play on.
Very mindful of his economy management here. And that probe will head on down to the natural, throw down that Nexus. Likewise, Bunny throwing down his expansion as well.
Yeah. And he's saving up the gas to get that factory down, start those Widow Mine drops.
Nom nom nom. Yummy, yummy, yummy for Bunny. As this Reaper is going to head on in, and there's actually nothing to rival this just yet. The Mothership Core needs to pop out, but he already gets himself a kill. Yeah. Oh, he's going to get a second one. And he's going to be stuck almost. Realized there was a wall there, and that is the reason Protoss do that a lot, but he didn't get the kill.
He still got out with 2 kills.
Yeah. Cheeky guy.
Yippee-doo!
And he's going to loop on around and see what else he can spot.
Yeah. If Hero chooses a Stargate or Twilight, remember he is playing against a factory that drops Widow Mines, or will drop Widow Mines. Could cause problems, depending on his tech choice.
Goes for the jumping again. Going to try and get that before the Mothership Core does too much damage, and barely just gets out of there. This is more characteristic of the control.
Choose your tech choice, Hero.
What's it gonna be? Twilight Council.
All right, so he's chosen a tech choice that has no detection against Widow Mines.
It's not the best against that, that's for sure.
No. And he hasn't scouted at all in this game, not even sent a probe out in the open into the middle. He has no idea.
Doesn't even know where he spawned.
So this, by the way, I would like to think this could be some type of big pressure coming out from Hero. No scouting information, not really caring what his opponent's up to, but it's been slowed down by a couple of probe kills here.
Yeah.
If he's able to deal with the initial little drop from Bunny, then he could do pretty well. Because when you drop like Bunny is doing, you don't have stim, you don't have combat shells, and you don't have a lot of units. All you have is Widow Mines and a couple of Medivacs in the sky.
As this Widow Mine's actually looking to move out onto the field very, very quickly. As it'll just walk on over there for a little bit. And Hero has his units positioned in such a way to intercept the Reapers if they were to jump into the main base. Mothership Core's at the front and does have energy for a photon overcharge, so it should be able to push these Marines back. But fights from two sides are something he has to be concerned about. Oh, the Mothership Core.
That's annoying.
So 3 Marines from Mothership Core. I'm okay with that trade. That's 100 gas taken away from the Protoss right there.
And Hero not being aggressive with his build either. It's just a robotics facility follow-up and then a gateway. So the blink is just going to be used to help be defensive, and he's already taken defensive losses, unfortunately. Not the best start. And now it's time for the real drops to come into play. With this Robo being late, there's no observer.
The Stalkers are moving out aggressively onto the middle of the map, but again, because he doesn't know where his opponent spawned, he's actually... I don't know, a little bit flustered. He's sending out a probe to the top left-hand corner. With the direction this medevac came, maybe he realizes now where he's actually spawned, but that's another worker during that.
Yeah, only 3 in total have gone down. But with this type of opening, you should almost be losing no probes. That's the difference.
Yeah, and still having a Widow Mine in his mineral line that did walk in there after the first one was dropped. Pylon up to the top left, though. Hero doesn't even... Well, I think he kind of deduces now that he's up to the top right-hand corner. He has to, but... I mean, the Pylon looking to get aggressive maybe later on.
All right, so we're going to enter the mid-game now. Tank production very early on here from Bunny. Expecting this kind of blink play. Didn't see the Robo, doesn't really know exactly what's going on. Has seen 3 gateways, has seen blink, isn't too sure. But this play from Bunny can turn very aggressive once he feels comfortable too. Imagine if he moves out with tanks and sieges them underneath the main base and then drops units inside the main and so on, like a Terran versus Terran. Yeah,
it's a hard place to destroy. Certainly hard to push him out of there. But that's a lot of Stalkers actually warping in over on this left-hand side for Bunny. And there's no means of which to get extra tech down at the moment. He's just going for a lot of stalkers on this left-hand side.
Oh, there's 2 tanks, there's bunkers.
Yeah, he's well prepared.
Bonnie's well prepared.
Walks up the ramp. So he's like, oh, well, I guess he's not here. So he kind of didn't deduce the idea that he was up to the top right. He had to check it.
Oh, dear. I actually thought he knew.
Yeah, I thought he did as well. With the especially with the medevac, the way it came in. Like, I thought that he may have a good inkling, but oh well.
Well, Bonnie has an SCV just floating around outside his main base while he waits for his stim and so on to be finished up.
Salvaging a bunker, which came at a weird time there, unfortunately for him, but there is still another bunker as well as tanks. He has a good defensive setup, very good.
Beautiful defensive setup.
Well, sending this Oracle forwards and sees everything in position. He's actually just going to go straight for the tank, but that leaves him a bit vulnerable. Stim is not finished, so that's one thing he has going for him, but the Marauders as well as the Marines up here are slaughtering Stalker after Stalker.
Ouchie, ouchie.
That's not good.
That was painful.
Yeah. He lost a lot there. What, for a tank and maybe a few Marines? I think he got a Marauder, but... the Observer dies, so he doesn't even have high ground vision now. Blinks up, gets us a tank. But for the cost of more gateway units.
And he has to get ready to defend a push soon. As cool as he has Blink, and he can be very annoying with that, Bunny's at 3 medevacs. 3 medevacs with the 4th and 5th on the way. He is going to move out in a second. And you aren't going to stop him with this many units.
Yeah. One Colossus is about to pop, but it's not going to have Thermal Lance. And that's kind of scary. I mean, Bunny is more than willing to jump on top of them if he sees them vulnerable. And there's one sentry out, which means that Colossus technically will be pretty vulnerable.
Oh, this is going to be painful.
Big drop into the main base, and what does he have to stop this? Photon overcharge, sure. A few Zealots, not in the right position either. Nexus is going to fall. Colossus trying to get back there, but I mean, free Nexus. Well, for a few of these units, but it's a good trade nonetheless.
Boost away! Whee! Kills off the Nexus, very frustrating. That's, 50% the income. You're losing all that chrono boost, the pro production that you could have moved to the 3rd. Just a very frustrating position to be in here for Hero. That's a big loss, a very big loss.
One Colossus is even walking out into the middle there. Has to be careful with that, does Hero. If that were to have been spotted, as his army is not with it, then that could have been deadly. But gets a pylon that was using to reinforce. Hero still has a probe on the map that could throw down another reinforcing pylon if he needed it. But again, still, no thermal lance, right? Unless he did it in a sneaky manner.
No thermal lance. And there's a lot of bio here for Bunny. He went up to the 5 barracks before the 3rd command center. Pump, 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 pump. Pump it.
This Widowmine's going to get some free damage on these Colossi before he engages. He could just stim, actually, and kill those 2. The way they are so far forwards.
Yeah, spread and stim.
Well, going to take the engagement straight anyway. One of the Colossus falls before he even gets any chance to fire. Second one comes in, but he can just maneuver and take that out as well. He lets it survive, but the rest of the gateway force is falling. This is an easy 1-2 here for Bunny.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice 2-0 for Bunny here over his teammate Liquid Hero, who over the last couple of months has not been having the best time in StarCraft. He's been taking a lot of losses on the chin. Whereas Bunny has just continued to impress and impress and impress, and this looks like just a 2-0 here.
Yep. Walk up the ramp, sees everything with his scan, and even force fields ain't going to save you at that point. And they weren't even gracefully spread enough to deny that any of this getting up the top ramp. So, lots of damage, lots of damage.
And Liquid Bunny is going to move on to the round of 16.
Good stuff. Takes down the Colossus. GG. Bunny takes the series 2-0.
One step closer to going to Katowice and getting that Polish paid trip here from ESL and Intel. Brilliant, 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 brilliant.
All right, so we're going to go to a short break, and then when we're back, hopefully we're going to have some games here from you at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Qualifiers.